Good morning, solar YouTuber. Today is Saturday, March the 28th of 2026. This is the evening edition. Some stuff. The city box, my two red autos were charged up, so I deleted that. Deleted that 200 watt panel, so I got this sitting out there in the sun, and it's producing about 300 watts. So here about an hour ago, so what I decided to do was to hook up my air fryer. Sit down there in the cord to the vevor, and then I was running it off the vevor. Now you're gonna see a red light flashing. Hold on a second, I'm gonna go do something. All right, had to step away. So the red light is flashing, and if you look down there, it's gonna show you a code 04. The 04 in the book. It's towards the back of the book. That's like that. Let's see, is it that far? It's that far here. And it's actually page 27. So 04 is low battery. Okay, so it's beeping at me because the battery's low. If we look at the volts on the battery, 239 of the watts are coming in off the panel out there. Out of 400, it's 26.6 volts. So that came on immediately. You see that I am charging a little bit. The light is blinking, and I am charging something like 36 watts. Not on that one, but it's like 36 watts. The app on the computer and the app on your phone, it takes a while for it. I think it refreshes every 5 minutes or something. That's not showing me. Oh, there it is. It's refreshing now. It takes about 15-20 seconds for it to actually refresh. Come on. I was lying to you, right? It takes a while for it to refresh. Well, maybe longer. Yep, it's not showing anything coming in, but it's not showing the battery being charged. But you can see it blinking here. That means the battery is being charged. So, get the red light for low battery, and as you can tell, yeah, the panels are going to be in the shade. That's that corner panel's in the shade. I can try moving a little bit. Hold on. All right, just moved the panels. They're no longer in the shade. I'm pretty sure that's, I don't know how far the shade goes over, but the sun is right there above that. So that's what that is there. So you have that red blinking light. It just tells you fault code. And I turned my beeper off, so it does beep. I went in and turned the beeper off. So what's going to happen is, so when I lose the sun, when I no longer charge, then I'll do a different video on this one, but I'm going to hook that up into the generator and run that off the generator to charge up the batteries full. And then tonight, when I go to bed, I'm going to use the vevor for my fan, maybe a heating blanket, and then when I wake up in the morning, throw the stuff outside, and so it could charge. So, and what is we got coming in now? We got, it says 37 watts. That's what's going into the battery. That's what's going into the battery. 73 volts, 284 watts. Oh, my fault. 284 watts is coming in on the panels. So, but the battery is charging, not much. We go down here to here, and we go down one more to see it's 37. You know, 0, 37, 0. So it's charging slowly. Well, it's charging. So because simple fact is the load I have right now is my computer and monitors. So the load is 151, and so 249 is coming in. So that difference is the running wattage of the inverter. So I did cook the air fryer. So for 15 minutes, I had 1700 watts going through this, 1.7 kilowatts going through this. It was running that load. It was running my refrigerators. It was running the TV. I meant the computer and stuff. And this light came on pretty much immediately. But the batteries never shut down. The low voltage on this is 26 volts, I believe. So when I charges up, here in a little bit, I'm gonna see if the light goes out if the voltage comes up. You might have to reset it. I'm not sure. And how you reset it, I don't know. But we figure that out when we get to it. But for right now, I made this video real quick because I haven't had this issue with the vevor. It's not really an issue. It's just to tell me that the battery's low. And then if you go on to now to set up this vevor for the internet, for your Wi-Fi and all that, it is a pain in the butt. Go up to alarm info, hit alarm info. And there it is. Today's date about 5:50. I'm at 3:30, about 3:27. That's when it came on. Warning: low battery voltage, and that's my vevor. That's the serial number. So it does tell you. So you do have a log in case you need it. But there on page 27 of the manual, it's the same manual I have. It's on page 27, all your fault codes. I've had that fault code before, and I've had, let's see, and I've had low battery overload. Let's see. I don't see the fault code. Oh, fault code's over here. That's a warning indicator. 04 is, okay, so low battery, that's the warning indicator. My phone 26 is the fault code. And the other fault code I had on this a while back is well, I don't see that fault code I had. It was the grid power is too dirty. Low temperature battery. I don't see the code I had before. Now the code I had before on this will tell me that the inverter is too dirty. The default code, I was like 07, 07 or 05, and I don't see it here. I found it once. That was something to do with the fault code. When I plugged it into the generator, it wasn't a clean AC wave. It wasn't clean. It wasn't a clean sine wave. Is that on here? I was looking for sine wave. I'm not seeing a sine wave on this. Something to do with the sine wave, not clean sine wave, dirty sine wave, or something to that extent. I'm not seeing that here. I think I had to look that up. but it was a dirty sine wave, and the booklet tells you when you're charging back here on page 14, it's going to be number 3, AC input. And so you can put it into the APL, UPS, and then the generator. It gives you a warning because generators are unstable. Maybe the output inverter will not be. It might be unstable too, and so that will throw a fault code. So what you got to do is, I didn't go into setting number 3 and subsection 3 generator and turn it to generator. I just left it as grid, the UPS, and then I try to charge the batteries that way, and it threw a fault code. Yeah, so if you guys wait a minute, I'm gonna get that generator fired up and let's see how that works, because I'm catching shaded there on that panel, so I'm not gonna move it no more. I'm just gonna set it up. So just wait a few minutes, let me get the generator fired up and get this going and see how it does. Alright, got the generator plugged in. I turned on. I got the eco mode on. You see the cord. Alright, so then we're going to have to go in here into setting. You got to hold down on the enter button. Hold down the enter button. And you're going to change that to, not 3, go back up. When you see that 01 flashing, hit enter, go down to solar utility battery and hit enter again, and then hit exit. So it's going to detect the AC there. That's the AC. It's going to take a few minutes for it to actually detect the AC. We're actually kicking in. You're going to hear it click. You hear it click. AC just kicked on. You hear it just kicked up. And so now we are charging. Let's go here. $30 amps at 828 watts. So we use 828 watts. Sorry about that. I had to move that and put the choke all the way in. So it's charging now at 828 watts. And we're going to see how long that will take to charge. So you have to put it into, so it's using 1,100 watts. I have my 200 off the generator, and only 787 is going into the battery, and 145 is going to the load. So let's do some math here. Let's take 1,100 minus the 787 and minus the 145. That's 168 watts according to my calculation that the inverter is using. That's quite a bit if you ask me. But that's it right there. 100 watts minus 787 and minus 145, 168. And so 168 is what that's using. And then let's see if that fault code has gone off. Yep, the fault code has gone off. It's no longer bleeping at us. We're at 27.1. And so that's a good test. So I'm not going to stay here online or anything. I'm going to hit pause and see how long my pause lasts on my phone. And when the battery gets charged up, I'll let you know. And what time is it now? It is 5:29. So let's just say what, 5:30 it started test. It's been about what, a minute or two. So around 5:30, we had a couple minutes to it. Both coolers are doing pretty good. I forgot, I got a little cooler right here, right down there. So if I have to, I can hook that up, because that's going to use way less than what that is. And I can hook that up and then have my tea and stuff stored in there. And then I can turn both of these into a freezer, something to that extent. Alright, there we go. I'm just going to hit pause and see how long I can hold on pause. And if it automatically stops, then I would just post this and put in the comments how long this actually took. Alright guys, I will let you know. It's at 27.2, about by 28.2, that's when it's fully charged. So that's what I'm going to leave it at. So when it gets fully charged, I'm going to switch it back over to the SUB and then run the rest of the night off of the batteries and see how long it lasts me. And that's all we're going to do for a night. So, alright guys, you have an awesome day, and I will get a hold of you later.